Shane, last time I spoke to you, your opponent had just been announced. What do you know about him now that you didn't know back then?
So I know he's a 6-foot American with 2 arms, 2 legs and a big head with ginger hair on it. Other than that, I've watched a few of his fights. Like, that's all I need to know about him physically. I watched a couple of his fights and I've watched enough to recognize the patterns that he throws up, the way that he moves as a fighter, and then through understanding those 2 things, just like how he looks and how he moves, I can understand him as a person already, and I can see through him like straight away, because fighting's one of those things, you know, that you can't lie. You can't lie in a fight. You can't be like, that didn't hurt, because if it hurt you, you'll be like, oh, you're gonna go to sleep, you know. Like, if it hurts your body, you're like, oh, things start shutting down. You're like, nah, it's sweet. You can't lie. But in saying that, you can also find people that shouldn't be in there, you know. I don't want to say anything too, like, I don't want to come off as disrespectful, but like, I just know that I can see who Austin Arnett is as a man, and so it's always man to man. Like, yeah, this Māori man's gonna beat that American man. That's all I know.
Mentally stronger.
Yeah, way more mentally stronger, because I've had to go through stuff, you know. So like, and that's not trying to be cocky or anything. I'm not saying that he can't go through that work and put in the, you know, anyone can put in the work and become a world champion, but you got to put in the work. That's the difference. Like, some of us can put in this much work, some of us can put in this much work, you know, and you can still both be in the UFC, because it's not like only the top 1%, you know. It's like a percentage of the top. So like the top 10% of the featherweights in the world are in the UFC. But there's a big percentage. Yeah. There's a 1%, then there's that bottom 10%. Yeah. So
training here at City Kickboxing is putting all the fighters in that top 1%.
Yeah, that's the same thing as well. We're putting us all together there, and we only strive to fight that top 1% of the UFC, not like, yeah, the bottom feeders. Yeah, we strive to be like those guys, the top 1%.
Well, we know what family means to you, and I've got to ask you this question because the sellout was something fantastic. Did any of your mates get tickets?
No, it was actually really hard, because I didn't get announced till like, out of us 3, I was the last one to get announced, like maybe like a week after Kai. Oh, sorry, I found out a week after Kai, and then they announced it a little bit later, so no, it was pretty hard. I think we beat out Rod Stewart. We beat out Rod Stewart for the fastest selling. I've been telling everyone 20,000 too, but it's only 15. Only 15. Only 15,000 in like 8 minutes. Yeah, but that's good indicators for Anzacs. So not just Australians selling out those arenas, because we know that the contingent of us 3, like, you know, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but like, I know Kai has a following. We know Israel's got a following. I know I have a following, and it shows now in that, and it's going to show. It showed where they've put us in the fight card as well, and it'll show on the night when they give us those 50G bonuses. Like, it just makes sense, us 3. I think it'll almost be poetic like that. Like, you know, it's because I feel like that is like another indicator for the UFC to be like, oh yeah, we want this person to do well. And that's why I think I got it last time. I think that's why Kai got it last time. Other than that, Kai was like, fire. That was an epic performance. Same was mine. Like, you know, we always deserving of them. But yeah, things like that.
So sounds to me like you guys aren't happy to just go and win. There's a bigger prize. There's a performance of the night. There's a look at me. Hey, I'm the best. Sort of. Well, it's not prize on top of that.
Yeah, it's not even the performance of the night. It's trying to look for absolute victory, like striving to be more like how finish fights, like how Israel finishes fights. You know, like hit and don't get hit ever. Hit him, don't get hit ever. That's like what we strive for here at this gym. It's just absolute victory. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Well, it sounds like everything's on target,
yeah,
mate.
On target, on the mark, we're getting it done.
Kia ora,
mate, done. Kia ora about that. Shut Rob, I'm in.